Let me tell you about a very important member of our family. She came to live with us when she was only 4 days old. She wasn't exactly an orphan, but you see, she was taken away from her mother, and so someone had to take care of her. A man who knew us brought the little one to our house one fine spring day to see if we would adopt her. Robert, my 12-year-old son, fell in love with the pretty baby right away. "Oh, Daddy," he begged, "let's keep her. I'll take care of her myself." Well, Louise, that's my wife, Robert's mother, and I couldn't say no. So that's how the baby became a member of the family. Of course, we had to have a name for this newcomer, but what should it be? I know. "Let's call her Roxy," suggested Robert. And since Robert was the one who would take care of her, Roxy it was. Right away, we started feeding Roxy the very best formula. We used a little bottle, just the right size for her. She seemed to like our tender loving care, and she began to grow almost too fast. One day, soon after Roxy came to our home, Robert had another idea. "Daddy," he said, "may I take Roxy to school with me and show her to the other boys and girls?" "Well," I hesitated, thinking of some of the problems that might come up. "Are you sure your teacher would like that?" "Oh, yes, she would." I told her about Roxy, and she thinks it would be a good idea. But Robert, you know how Roxy cries for her bottle quite often? "Yes, Daddy, I know." "I could take some formula in a thermos bottle, and the other children already want to help me feed her. But how would you keep her warm?" "I've already figured that out. I'll wrap some soft cloths around a jar of warm water and put it in a cardboard box. Then I'll put some more cloths in the box and make a bed for Roxy. She'll be as snug as a bug in a rug." All right," I agreed. "You may try it one day. If the teacher finds it too much trouble, you'll have to leave Roxy at home after that." So Robert carried the box and all the jars and bottles and Roxy to school the next morning. I guess I'll have to admit right here that baby Roxy was a baby raccoon. Well, things went fine at school. Robert said so many children wanted to feed Roxy that the teacher had to make a list so that they could take turns. I don't know how the boys and girls managed to get through their classes, but everyone, including the teacher, seemed to be happy about the whole affair. Besides, it was near the end of the school term. About a month after Roxy came, when Robert was out of school for the summer, we adopted another baby, a baby skunk. I'm a doctor, so I knew how to remove the skunk's scent glands so there wouldn't be any problem with odor smell. We named the skunk Stripe. Now we had two little animals in the kitchen. What should we do with them? By now they were too big to keep in cardboard boxes. They needed room to move around. For their first home, we used a big bird cage. I don't mean a little hanging cage that is only big enough for only two or three little birds. Louise had kept a lot of canaries at one time, and we still had a big cage, about 2 feet long, 3 feet wide, and 2 feet high. It had a strong wooden frame attached to a wooden floor, and it was covered with strong wire screen. We set the cage on a small table near a large window in the kitchen. There the little pets would have sunlight part of the day. Robert played with Roxy and Stripe whenever he had time, especially in the evening. He would take them out of the cage and put them on the kitchen floor. One of the games he enjoyed playing with them was with balloons. He would blow up small balloons and put them on the floor. Roxy and Stripe would bat the balloons and chase them around the floor until the balloons popped. At first, the loud noise frightened them, but it didn't take them long to learn that noise wouldn't hurt them. Then they tried to burst the balloons as quickly as possible. Both little pets were as playful as kittens and even more lovable. While the pets were still small, we had to give each one a bottle of formula quite often. Roxy learned to hold her own bottle. She would take hold of the bottle with all 4 feet, roll over on her back, tip the bottle up, and gobble down every last bit of formula. Actually, I think she was a bit greedy and ate too fast, because she usually had hiccups afterward. These good times couldn't go on forever. The two pets were growing fast. Something would have to be done about a larger home.